go. My audio's working. Welcome to NFL Another's Supercoach for another crazy week. Thank you very much for those that are going to be joining us. Let's do it, Ted. Let's do it. Oh, just like the song says. Mate, I'm not coming over to your house. I'm not visiting you anytime soon. Looking at that back wall of yours.
We are in the skiff. We are in the bunker. We are in the gun room. Let's dance across the floor and keep on trucking. Welcome, everyone. I hope you've all had a good week. I particularly had a shit week. I think a lot of coaches last week struggled. Let's see whether we can get it sorted this week and get flying again. Run into the semi-finals. How's it going for you, Brado? Locked and loaded, ready to run?
Oh, I'm going to make about half my cashies, and half of them I won't make. But I am in some really competitive leagues, so congratulations to everybody. Our leagues are still ranked very, very highly, so it's been a ball. But we've still got 4 weeks to go, and I'll push it all the way to the end for try. I'm just outside the top 1,000, so I'm in the thousands there. And you're not too far behind me, so we're still ranked reasonably well.
We're ranked reasonably well. Just a little bit of gloating, if I can, please. Little drum roll. It looks like Big Ted in the Legends Cash League will secure the minor premiership. Rolling in the big bucks, I will be, Brado. I don't think I can be beaten, but I might be proved wrong, and I might have gone early and had a choke. But it looks like I'm going to take the first of the prize money of the year with the securing of the minor premiership. But we're still going pretty well, mate. I hope myself to end up reasonably somewhere into the high, 900s, 800s, somewhere like that. But at the pointy end, it's so pretty tight, mate. It's so pretty tight.
Yes, well, now a big shout out to there's a couple of bag of dicks this week. I must give a shout out to YouTube, who decided last week that our content was a bit too explicit for them, and decided midway through the stream that they weren't going to broadcast us to certain areas, but would allow us into other areas. All the social media ban stuff. Who knows, Ted? Who knows?
Well, look, that's probably because I do speak from the gutter. I'll just try and improve the content that comes out of my mouth to keep the algorithm happy, Brad. Probably my fault, mate, my fault.
Oh, no, it's not your fault, mate. It's not your fault.
Oh, but like freedom of speech. What is freedom of speech? If you want to listen to us, you know what you're getting when you tune in. If not, just don't listen, anyway, mate, anyway, such is life.
Absolutely, such is life.
On that note, I'm going to have a Dr. Pepper's, swish it down, and let's just carry on.
All right, well, now we've got those generalisations out of the way. I'll try to get this shared around in a second, boys, but we'll better jump straight into a bit of news. Here we go.
It's now time for the injury report with your host, Big Ted.
This NFL injury report is brought to you by George Kittle's Hammy Helper, the only hammy helper you need to fix old tired leg.
Yes, there's a bit of hammy helper needed out there, but not too much this week, Ted, not too much.
Not too much. We've probably passed the point of the hammy helper, and we're looking for biblical intervention, I think, Brado, at this stage of the season. And hey, look, boys and girls, this week, it's not about an injury report because the season is so complex. It's more like a combined injury report. Who could be injured, possibly not injured, but not training, but maybe training, who's listed that might start but are day-to-day, and then who may and may not be available, and then who's returning section. If you've got that, if if, mate, the algorithm has got that, well, let's get into it. Let's start with QBs, Brado.
Yep.
Justin Herbert, the Herbear, the Chargers quarterback, had left hand surgery, not his throwing hand, but he's considered day-to-day. He's a cheeky pod option if you have him. Nice move, you. Are you thinking Justin Herbert can sneak into your team at this stage of the season, or any interest there for you, Brad, with the Herbear?
Yeah, absolutely. Very lightly owned. He's a perfect pod if you want one. I have 3 quarterbacks I do like. Herbert was one. Patrick Mahomes, I think he's safe. If you want a safe option, he's going to be reasonably safe and fighting all the way down to the final game of the year. Because it looks like it's going to be cut, or they're going to be very close to either getting in or not getting in, so they will fight all the way.
Yep.
Which is what you want. You want a team that's going to be in the battle for the duration. And Drake May is the other one. They're really going to be in a battle to make sure that they try to secure the number 1 ranking in that division. Number 1 ranking, big advantage to you if you do get it. So they will play him all the way too. So there's 3 I think that honestly look like they're going to be playing every game up until the playoffs.
Yeah, well, look, he's considered day to day, hour to hour. For me, this week coming, he'd be a sketchy play. So if you have him, just be holding your breath. Get up an hour before the game, and just check your starting roster. Tune in, check it out. Similar to Aaron Rodgers, he's coming back, banged up, sore arm. I did hear some of the guys talking the other day. Right at the moment, Aaron Rodgers looks like one of the bad dudes that like Macaulay Culkin beat up, in like that Day Home movie, because he's old and broken and busted. Not in a good way, Aaron. So, anyway, next quarterback of interest, and I do not know how this guy has done it, but like Daniel Indianapolis Colts Jones, right? For anyone out there living under a rock and you don't know, but last week he played through a fractured fibula. Now, I'm not a medical guy, but isn't that the big fucking bone in your leg that's got a fracture in it, Brad? What a fucking legend.
In the fibula of the arm?
Is it? No, I thought it was the tibula and the fibula were in the leg. He's playing with a fractured leg. It's the big leg muscle. Last time I checked me like medical fucking thesaurus it was. Anyway, I don't know how he's doing it playing with a fractured fibula. What the fuck? But he's probably not a runner now. So that reduces your quarterback options for your cheeky pods. I think there's a couple of others which are of interest, which we'll chat on later. But Daniel Jones is available, but could be playing banged up.
The fibula, for those that are interested, before anybody writes in and castigates us, is the small bone between your knee and your ankle.
Oh, the small one. Well, he's playing with a fractured fucking leg anyway.
Oh, yeah, whatever you got. Yeah, it's amazing.
Mate, honestly, I got a fucking bindi in me foot the other day, mate, and I was almost fucking crippled, mate. I didn't know what to fucking do. I'm hopping around the front lawn trying to pull this fucking thing out, and he's playing with a fractured fucking leg. What a legend, mate. What a legend. I think he was using Hammy Helper liberally. All ales the Hemi Helper. Nothing better than it. It is the best snaggle oil in the market. Anyway, moving on to running backs. We've got Tampa Bay's Buck Irving returning, but it's a committee there. So, like he's back, committee, right? Don't know how that affects you. Any interest in bringing Buck back in at this stage for you, Braddo?
Nah, too many running backs to choose from, and he's not really one at the top. No,
definitely doesn't float my boat. Next one, the Rams, Kyron Williams. He was limited in practice this week. He's got an ankle injury. He will probably split the backfield with Coram. At the start of the year, we were going, Crumbs, we're calling him Crumbs, but now I'm calling him Coram because we all love the Rumbos, right? But I think he's coming good now, Coram. I think it's definitely a split backfield there, but that's the news at the Rams. Any interest there with you, Braddo?
No, I think he's one for the Little Black Book. However, he was one for my Little Black Book last year. He's a youngster, made his debut last year. He was a rookie that was very highly touted.
Yep.
Blake Coram. And a lot of us jumped on him last year to start our season or in draft, got him thinking he would get more time, and they've taken a very slow approach to bringing him on.
Yep.
But we're seeing that he does have a lot of potential, and I think he does. So Coram, we'll be going to watch for next year, certainly, but not for now. No.
Yeah. As we shared the same black book on the Nutters group, he was in the same bracket as Cam Scatterbo this year, and wasn't that a pleasure to watch this year, keeping the algorithm happy without the Fs, etc.
Oh, no, it certainly has been one of the highlights. And by the way, folks, if you haven't, go and check his Instagram fucking page. Oops, there I go swearing. But anyway, he has to be one of the funniest blokes out there. His stuff is. He did a shoey the other week. Oh God, it was funny. If you were a league player, you get slaughtered for doing the stuff he does. But
he doesn't care, mate.
He has a very large following because he is so damn funny, which he is. He's an absolute unit. What did I send you the one last week where he's smashing beer cans against his head?
Yeah.
And it's just,
yeah.
He's
beer
a lunatic.
Beer cans and telegraph posts live in genuine fear in the Scatterbo neighbourhood. Friend of the show, Cam Scatterbo, that is. Anyway, next injury and split backfield, which we're going to talk about now, is the Texans' Woody Marks, right? Actually, coming good, Woody. Some people are known to call him Skids. But anyway, it'll probably be a mix of Skids and Chubb. Hope that doesn't offend the algorithm because that could be misconstrued if you're talking Skids and Chubbs.
We'll see after the show. We'll see what they say.
Kids, cover your ears, but I'm going to do my best. Anyway, hey, look, next injury news which we've got is Aaron Jones from the Vikings, right? He's got a bit of an injury, but he's a playing injury. He's been injured for as long as I've been having hot dinners, mate. Every time he takes it up and he gets hit, he gets up and he looks like he's broken anyway. So it'll probably be a split field and a bit of an uptick there for Jordan Mason. Does that affect the Beasts team this year, mate?
No, hell no. And I would stay clear of anybody that has a Vikings attached to their name. Just steer clear. They're just rubbish.
They're not rubbish. And hey, wasn't it a pleasure going up against a particular Mr. Hey, last week, it was a pleasure going up against a particular friend of the show, Mr. L. Clark, and watching his quarterback struggle. I enjoyed that very much, helping me to the win. Sorry about that, Lloyd. Lovely taking the money. Now, hey, next one we've got, right? Cardinals running back. Bam Zonovan Knight. If you got on the Bam Bam train, and I didn't, I don't think you did, but Bam's a friend of the show. He's a great bloke, always flooding the inbox, Bam. But, mate, it could be a split backfield now because Trey Benson's been reactivated off the IR, made all of the protocols. He's good to go. So I can see it probably being they'll give it to Bam. They'll go, Bam, bash your head in there, 2 or 3 times. And if there's any scoring, Trey Benson, welcome to the scoring club this week. I think it's all going to be Trey Benson, but Bam may do the bulk of the work. Moving on to the next, who's back, who's in, who's out, who may be day-to-day, whatever kind of player. Hampton, O'Marion, back, activated off the IR, made all of the protocols. Going to be a split backfield with Kiami Vidal, which is a real shame because he's only just started to come good. And last week he had runs, he had carries, he had tutties. He was looking real good. Now it's going to be a split backfield at best, probably maybe a little bit more Vidal, and they may just ease Hampton back in, Braddo. Don't know if you've heard of any more running back news, but we could be moving on to wide receivers.
No.
And of course, the big news is the Sun God. Now, if you live in a world of American football and it's all you listen to and it's your whole world, every bit of information, every beat writer, every bit of info you can get is that the Sun God is hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second. Will he, won't he? I don't know about you, Braddo, but my gut is that he's a definite not going to play this week. And if you have him, you're going to have to fucking captain him and loop him or put him on your bench. Braddo, I know he affects you. What are you thinking about the situation?
I'll make up my decision after they play. If he doesn't play, and I can loop somebody in that game, no, you can't. You can't because he's the first cab off the rank.
First game up.
Yeah. You can't even loop him. So he's. I might have to look at my wide receivers and see what's happening.
You could I don't know, just put him on the bench and see what happens. But because I'm down in the skiff and these are my toys behind me, this one right up here, right up the top, that one there. Well, that one's firing duds this week without the Sun God on my team. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm glad I've got a few more guns that I can go to, Braddo. Right, but I know that this might jump into our ultra pods, but I think if you've got cheeky trades left, the Sun God out could be a blessing because there's an ultra pod in the wings just waiting to get onto the team, and I'd usually be F-bombing and everything like that, but I'm algorithm loving at the moment. If the algorithm loves that, that's what I'm doing to the algorithm. Anyway, that's quite a visual. Moving on to the who's back in, who's out, right? Now, back onto the Bucks with Bucky Irvin coming back in. They could be having Mike Evans coming back in and maybe Jalen McMillan. Now, McMillan probably won't be. Got a gut feeling that they won't, but they just might bring Mike Evans back in because they're that dumb down there. I don't know why they would, but they may. And if you're considering him, don't. But he's probably going to prove me wrong and go ballistic. But he's possibly could be back, Mike Evans. But they're coming back from collarbone fractures, right? I don't know, Brad, when even the hammy helper doesn't go a long way with a collarbone fracture. It's just one of those injuries I can't see them going gangbusters out of the gate. I think that they'll ease them back in, Brad. Any interest for you there, bringing Mike Evans from the Bucks back in?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
I didn't think so. So, moving on, we'll go to the Packers, right? Jaden Reed, he's going to return, and he could be very relevant straight away. But mate, he's also coming back from a collarbone injury too. So, is he going to be relevant straight away? I know we held on to some Green Bay Packer wide receivers that did a poo-poo right in the middle of our forehead, keeping the algorithm happy. Maybe it's going to be Jaden Reed. Doesn't do that, and he'll bring you roses because the algorithm loves roses. So that's what he might bring your team. Also, T. Higgins was limited at practice coming back from his HIA protocol. We all saw him go off, and he thought he was at Leichhardt Oval when they carried him off. Maybe he's aware of where he's at now, but he's activated and probably will play. And because Joe loves to throw, could become a very cheeky POD. In saying that, that's about all I've got around to looking at. Didn't even look at the at the tight ends this week, Brad. Been a little bit rushed. Had too much golf on the cards this week. Sorry, boys and girls, but sometimes we've got a life outside of the podcast.
No, thank you, Ted. That was I think we've summed up all the ins and outs and the major news.
Well, like Kittle's on a bye, so that's a bit of tight end news. So, that's all that the Nutters are going to cover on tight ends this year. George is out for the week, mate.
Now, I will put up this question here because we're going to be discussing some elements of this question. Good old Bergs. G'day, Bergs. I hope the legend is going well. He asks, pods for run home, one from every slot. Well, I think we will cover one from every slot, but the reason I'm putting that up there now is that usually about this time we start to consider who has been traded in and who has been traded out. So I can tell you the most traded out basically all speaks for itself. They're either on a bye or their name is Amon Ra St. Brown. So number one is Trayvon Henderson. I agree with that. It's time for him to go. Amon Ra is number two. Chet McMillan, another one that's on a bye. Time to go. Jackson Dart. Geez, I get it, but but he does play for a spud of a team at the moment. Rome Adunze. Well, you must have a few trades if you're trading him out, you reckon, Ted? Although he's been absolute pus. They don't know where they're throwing it at that team, do they?
They don't. And if you're trading him out, seek some medical help after you've listened to the show. Like, if we can talk some sense into you and say keep him, just keep him, put him on the bench. I think that he's got some good things coming. People trading out the Sun God, my goodness gracious me, I'll have to say a little prayer for them, like I say a prayer for the algorithm every night when I go to bed. We love the algorithm and we love Amon Ra, and I don't know why they're doing it because he's going to be back next week.
Well, anyway, you did suggest if you had a lot of trades that you would trade him as well.
I know, but really, sometimes you would just hold because you've got depth elsewhere, I suppose, Brad. Surely he's worth a hold at this stage. He is just a freak of a player. I would hold him personally, but I understand why people are doing it.
Number 6 traded out is Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I get it. I guess he's just terrible. Anybody with the Vikings is terrible. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
I've got one of his jerseys, so I really love the guy. He busts a really good gold chain, as the algorithm would look good with a gold chain or two. But this year, he's been not performing as expected. I suppose he's a bit limp, a little flaccid, you would say, compared to the raging Jefferson we've seen in the past, Brad. What a letdown for owners this year. He started out like 17 million, and now he must be worth like a packet of used chewing gum and half a packet of chips. What? Tell me. Oh, I don't even know what he's worth, but what's his value now, Brad? Is
10
he next to
million.
nothing?
10.
10. Oh my goodness. Those owners must be like feeling the pain, flogging themselves with like the whip on the back. Oh,
Yeah.
depressing being a Jefferson owner. What's happened there? Is it just because they've got no quarterback and they've got no O or D line?
Yeah, they've got no. I mean, their defense is quite okay, but yeah, they're just awful. And the other one is McCarthy. It's just gone to his pressure has got to him, I think. But what did he pass last week? Passed 64 meters or something like that. It was awful. Like if you're only getting a total of 64 meters, then I'll tell you now that Justin Jefferson is going to get absolutely sweet F all of it, right? Because that's nothing. It's just nothing.
I'm proud JJ owner, probable starter this week. I think he probably gets the nod this week, Brad. Do you think he gets the nod this week? Have you heard if he's in or out? I think he probably plays.
No, I think
JJ
he
plays. And just like, let's all have a little prayer circle for JJ and the algorithm. Let's just wish the best on them both. Terrible situation to be having to start in, but I'm a Drake May owner and I'm not going to burn a trade for 1 week when people will be trading him out pod hunting. I think as of from next week, Drake May becomes a very good asset on the chessboard, probably as good as any queen could be.
Well, I will tell you, this is the last one, or actually, Lamar Jackson is number 10. Look, if you spend the money on him, I'd be holding him unless you got 10 trades. However, the number 7th trade is, drum roll, 1 Drake May.
They're obviously not friends and listeners of the show. Maybe some other cheaper show that doesn't have ambitions of victory are recommending trading Drake May. But here he's a solid hold. JJ McCarthy definitely trumps him this week.
All right, we've got some comments starting to come through. Avatar of Paper Magic. Wow, that's a good name, isn't it? Avatar of Paper Magic.
Paper Magic.
And he says, look out, stranger danger has arrived.
Oh, I thought that was Mr. S. Foot was stranger danger, not friend of the show, Mr. S. Foot. And welcome aboard, Avatar of Paper Magic. Is this
He also says, if you have trades left, can I ask, do you prefer Cuck Chair or Cuck Lounge?
Oh, I like both actually. With
Can you decipher for me?
Well, I think CUCK could be something that the algorithm doesn't like, but if you were friends of one Mr. P. Diddy, which obviously the Mr. Paper Magic is friends of a Mr. P. Diddy, they would enjoy that experience, I think.
Yeah, he's gone mad here, so we'll only put up a couple more of his there's that one. He said, Ted, if you don't win the comp, it's because you spend too much time on golf.
Absolutely, I spend too much, and I hit the ball gloriously, if I do say so myself.
He says he spent too much money on WR. What has happened to the Vikings? Well, we just sort of answered that.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Look, it's obvious that the Vikings, I'm not an NFL expert. I'm an expert on nothing, not even the chair or the sling. But I am an expert of telling the algorithm how much I love it and appreciate it, and share, like, and subscribe. The algorithm would probably like a digital photo uploaded so it can really keep control of you too.
And
I
I was just going to say, I agree with
him
him there too. JJ is more ass than the backside of a sumo wrestler. Yes, I think whatever we saw from him earlier in the season was he got that one by accident, and what we're seeing now, I think unfortunately, about as good as it's going to get. They're going to have to do something for next year, I think, because it's not going to be JJ.
Well, like personally, what I'd do is that I'd just take him to a good old shaman, have a ayahuasca ceremony, release those demons, and I think that you have a potential league winner next year. Whether they're prepared to do that or not, I don't know. I think JJ's got it all, just that the voices in his head must be very loud, Brad. They must be loud. Sort of like Johnny Football voices.
By the way, I do believe it could be a possibility that the Avatar Magic Man is actually might be the Supercoach Sponge in disguise.
Yeah, worked it out. Yeah, worked it out quickly before the block and delete was on. Share, like, and subscribe. Love Magic. Now, pods. If we're talking like pods for Burgo.
Oh no! Just wait. Can we go through these last of the trade-ins first? Because some of these trade-ins could be an actual, could be a pod. And the first one, the most traded-in player this week, is actually one AJ Brown.
Well, they are a bit late. We flushed Browns early in the season. We told you to bring Browns back in, Chase and AJ, about 4 weeks ago. And if you did get on board when, like we were saying, like load up the bus, get the guns you need on the team early, you would have had your nice price rises and your team would be somewhere up between $360, $380 million. It'd be a pretty competitive team worth of overall value now. And those guys would have helped you boost it right up there now. Definitely. What a great bring in, AJ Brown. But you've got to remember that he's one of these special kind of guys, and the game script may go his way where they feed him and they feed the ego, and like you get tree from him. The next weekend you're going to get a sack of like air biscuits and nothing, and 3 drops for like 3 and nothing.
Number 2 is Patrick Holmes, 3 Rashee Rice, 4 CD Lamb. I sort of get them, but I think CD's a bit of risky, but anyway. 5 Shredder Sanders. Number 6, Jamar Chase, are actually bringing him in.
Well, yeah, because he's course, they've probably been Justin Jefferson owners that have just got to like the Mooney Bridge and they're hanging on and they're going, oh, look, you know, like this is a little red flag to go on desperate as like, and usually I'll be F-bombing and everything like that, but we're loving the algorithm this week. So like it was a sign of desperation. They've probably gone, he's a lower owned guy than some of these other guys, and they're trading out Sun God with someone else and bringing in them to load their bus up to get them to their own semi-finals or their head-to-head, something like that, Brad, because that's where we're all headed now.
Devon HM, number 7. That's pretty extraordinary. 23 million. Whew, if you've got that sort of cash still, good luck to you. Number 8, I don't get. We just discussed this team, Green Bay. Number 8, Dontari and Wicks.
Yeah, that's because he went well last week. But see, you've got to remember that Jaden Reed's back this week. So yeah. Wicks might be like, you know, like just like one of those one-hit wonder, you know, like those pop songs that came out and everyone knows them and one hit, then they're gone. You never know who they are again. That's what I suspect may happen there, mate.
He's a poor man's Keishon Butte.
Oh, we all love a bit of booty time, bro. I was so glad that I dropped the booty in on my name this year, bro. We all love a hot booty.
Yeah. Twice a season he sticks his hand up and then runs away, gets back in a gopher hole, never to be seen again.
Never mind, but when it's booty time, we all love it. We get them out and we jingle them.
Now, number 9, I'll let you talk about this one because I know it goes right in the Bergs' comment. about pods. Jamison Williams.
Jamison Williams. Well, I'm telling you, right, I've got him down as that if you can swing it around this week, it wouldn't be even such a bad idea to put Jamison Williams down into your flex. He's owned by 1.6% of the league, and the Sun God is minute to minute probably not playing. That to me says opportunity. It says you are the elite coach. It says you've got plums this big and that you are prepared to, show your league that you know how to coach and they know nothing. I love the move myself, Brado. I think it's cheeky and I love it.
He is nice and cheap at 16 million, folks. So certainly that's could be one to get. All right, now before we get to the rest of the questions, and we'll do the rest of Berg's question in a minute. But we might just have a little rest for a second and just have a bit of a laugh with this segment.
Go on.
It's time for Bag of...
All right, our bag of dicks. Here it is. He's on the screen. What I've got on the screen is one Young Ho Koo. Is that his name? Young Ho Koo? One Young Ho Koo. I don't know how he's missed the ball, taking a kick for a field goal so badly. He has to get the bag of the dicks by a country mile. I mean, he's kicked a foot behind the ball. He's kicked the ground, I should say. Like, he completely missed it by that far. His toe was smashed into the ground. How he didn't break his leg, I'm not sure. He certainly must have been sore. And to make matters worse, immediately after the game, they went and sacked him. He's gone. Never to be seen again. He's off the roster. Gone.
Off the Centrelink, and on his Centrelink form, they've gone, what happened? And he's gone, I'm like Big Ted. I might have gone too fucking early, right? And they go, how much early did you go, son? And he goes, fucking this much. And even they laughed at him down at Centrelink because he was that short, Brad. That is embarrassingly short. Like, that's like, I've seen golf swings like it where like people chunk it like that, but these guys are paid millions of dollars a year. One job, Young Ho. One job. You deserve the dick of the week. We love it. Week 14, you're going down in history, mate. Yeah. Love it.
No, he's a classic dick of the week. He's just that is absolute gold. We've seen some dumb moves this year, but I might just leave him up there for a little bit longer yet because he makes me feel good. Makes me feel good about myself and my prospects.
He's like, we could have the Young Ho DiMercato plate bowl next year for like those losers in the Legends League. I think that the plate's going to be called the Young Ho DiMercato because isn't he the guy that dropped the pill an inch before the line?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, so you could have Young Ho DiMercato award.
The Young Ho DiMercato Awards. I think that this is the inauguration of it this year, live on the show. You're watching Great Minds Work, everyone. Welcome to it, mate.
We've got another few. We've got a little bit way to go there. Now over to Bergs' question. He wants to know pod moves. Well, we've had a look at running backs. We've given you a couple there. If you didn't take notice, Williams and AJ Brown. One or two of those might be in my team. I'm not telling you who. You figure it out. But now we might as well have a look at running backs, right? So we'll have a look at running backs here. Ted, have you got a running back pod?
I do. I've got two, and one you're going to I know that you've prepared for this. I know that you've got your vomit bag next to you. Like when we fly, we're not good travelers. But did we do wide receivers, or was that our cheeky flex option with Jamison Williams as our 1.6% wide receiver? If I can just put one more little cheeky wide receiver in,
All right, put him in.
which I think that you have to have, Bergs, like touch, wink, wink, mate, I'll see you in the toilet. Devontae Adams, the LA Rams, number one, standing out there going, throw it to me, I'm very good, at 5.4%. That's another cheeky one, because I can't just give you one. There's got to be multiples. Now we can go to the running backs. First one, vomit bag. Josh Jacobs, 7.8% owned, didn't score last week. The game script didn't go his way. This week it all could. They are going to go, you need 2, maybe 3 tutties this week to say sorry for not feeding you last week. And my next one, it's 6.4% owned Chase Brown. I think you have to get your Browns back into your team with your Rices and your Browns, Braddo. So that's where I'm at with my cheeky running backs. What about yourself, mate?
Well, personally, if you run down the top 10, or if you run down anybody in the top 10%, right, if you're going to pick from outside that 10%, I personally think you're crazy. You've only got 4 spots at running back, right? So if you can't pick from McCaffrey, Robinson, Taylor, Gibbs, Henderson, Archain, Williams, Vidal, Cook, Henry, Judkins, these people are all over 10%, right? If you can't pick from that lot, then 4 players, and they're the ones you want. I don't think you need to go party at running back. That's my personal opinion. I'd stay clear. It's still well clear. You have a look at anyone under 10%, and it is, you need a vomit bag. It's not pretty. They're not as good a quality as what we've just mentioned up there.
No, well, look, this could segue into another question asked by the SC Sponge. Benny goes in a chat group. He goes, what about some start sits this week of the top 10 owned running backs? So I've had a little bit of a look into it. So, of course, the number one running back this week, highly owned, and half of us have him CMC, but he's on the bye, so he's irrelevant, which brings you to the number 2 owned guy, 47%, Bijan Robinson. Okay, they're up against the Seattle Seahawks this week, but, Brad, as you were saying earlier, there's got to be some point because their bus just can't get there. Are they going to park him up and just put him on cotton buds, limit his game script? Is he a start for you, or are they going to start to reduce his time? Do you think he's a play, or is he a sit this week for you?
I think he's still a play for one more week. But if they lose this game, they're 100% knocked out. They can't make it. I don't think they can make it anyway. But until mathematically it's confirmed, which they only need one more loss and they're gone, then he might still be worth a play. It's getting questionable though, because at some point they will start hooking him off the field, putting a young fella on there, gearing themselves up for next year, give less time to the stars and more time to those that have been on practice squad all year, and start having a look at the cattle that they've got in the back of the shed. That's what happens in the last couple of rounds with those teams that are knocked out. So when he is fully knocked out, he's definitely going to be poison. But I do love him. So you are it. But if you've got 4 better ones, then yeah. Like if you've got Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, possibly Trayvon, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry. If you've got any of those 5, then Robinson might well be a sit this week. Yeah.
I think he's already tasting the Gator lime on his, iguanas down at Tijuana with the senoritas putting the Diddy oil on. I can just see it now. He's already clocked off. I think he's a possible sit. Number 3, most highly owned, we're getting back to Genty here, 45% owned. They're up against Denver. I think he's a strong start this week. If you have him, I think he's a stronger start than Poisen is, Brado. What are your thoughts on Ashton?
I think he's great cover on my bench. That's my thought on Ashton. He's done me well so far this year, but I'm personally not going to start him. I've got 4 stronger. I've got him on the bench, and he'll be my one bench cover. So if a disaster does occur, at least I've got good old Ashton there, and that's what he's been good for all year.
Well, look, I'm telling you that it could be one of those weeks, Brad, when like you start some really good players there, like I did a couple of weeks ago, and then Gibbs gives you a solid 19, lands one right in the middle there and takes you nowhere, and then Gendy's putting in a 38. I can see this happening. It could be a good solid week for him. Of course, the number 4 owned guy, Henderson, he's out. He's irrelevant. Jonathan Taylor coming in, right? 31% owned up against Jacksonville. I think JT is a good, solid start this week.
Yeah, he's a very solid start. Very strong with that matchup. Yeah. Against Jacksonville, you got to play him. Yeah, 100%.
What I don't like about the round this week, it just seems like this is one of those weeks where the Supercoach gods have forgotten to be nice to us, and we don't really have any looping opportunities much. There's no one juicy sticking out in the 10 o'clock or the Tuesday 2 o'clock fixture. It's like a wasteland there. So the winner is those that hit their captain or VC on the head. But there's not even many loop options, guys. So just beware of this, right? Now, in at 30% owned, Barclay up against the Los Angeles Chargers. I think he's a solid start this week, Brad. Do you like him for a start this week, mate?
No.
No.
Not versus the Chargers, I don't know. Defense has been, I'd have to go have a look. Yeah, I mean, you're putting me on the spot. I'd have to have a look at how their running back defense has been stacking up. But surely you've got 4 better, or 3 better. You only need 3 better running backs than Saquon Barkley, or 4 better.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, surely.
I'd
take Trayvon. Here's one. Trayvon's out this week. I certainly would take Devon Acham over Barkley. Yes, I would.
Okay, but if we're talking the top 10 highly owned players, right?
Yeah.
Acham comes in at number 11. He's only 14% owned. I think that's where you start to build your running back quartet out of there.
How about this, Ted? Change your filter there to the top, to those in the top 5%. Oh. And all of a sudden, you'll find what you're trying to tell me was massively changed.
Of the top 5%, because I'm going off just overall players.
Yeah, now let's have a look at those who are running shit hot. Those in the top 5%, which does include me.
How do I do that, Brad? Sorry, which is the way I do that? I go to players and then what?
You go Supercoach Gold, right?
Yep.
Coach's choice. And then you click that, and then you've got a choice to tick between 1%, 5%, and 10%.
Oh, where's that? 1%, 5%, 10%. Oh, yeah, owned.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, owned. Oh.
So you want top 5%. All of a sudden, Devon Acham is at number 6, and your mate Saquon Barkley is right down the bottom at number 14.
Sorry, I've got it. Yeah, he's number 14.
Yeah.
That's of the top 5%. Yeah. I was just catering for everyone overall.
Yeah, but I think you need to look at the top ones, and because it tells a very vastly different story about what's those that are chasing the glory, what's really going to happen.
Well, I think some really strong starts this week are start King Henry. We've always been on about the King Henry, wagon this year, bar from when we threw him off because because he couldn't hold the ball. He just went through this little 3-week period where he just had the dropsies, couldn't hold the ball. Achan is a must start. Cook is a must start if Allen doesn't pinch one or two of those, tushies off of him or a cheeky 10-metre rush or something like that. They'd be the strong starts this week. Hampton with Kaimani splitting the backfield, I think they're a sit. I think Javonte Williams this week. Dallas up against Detroit. I think Javonte Williams this week is a strong start if you have him. They're all the players which are in the top 10% of overall owned. But that's probably the strongest starts, and there's some sits in there which I would sit to, Brad.
Yeah, Kamani Vidal certainly is a sit. He stands out as a sit for me. I would no way I'd play him this week. He's surely got 4 better than him. He's good. These are all good players. I mean, they're way better than what you and I could ever be, even if both of us together. But, him up against all those other ones we just mentioned are certainly out. So there you go. We hope that answers that question for you, Sponge. We've got that question done. All right. Now, should we have a look at some more questions?
More questions, and just while you're segueing into more questions, I just love that picture of Young Ho. That is just gold. It is just beautiful. Like, if someone, a friend of the show, can do a 3D printout of that, we could make that the trophy for the plate next year. Couldn't be better than that. That just says it all. That's your plate winner next year.
He must have had some ligament damage on that, eh? Surely.
I think he had. Look, if I can F-bomb it, I think he had some effing emotional damage more than ligament damage. I think he's had some financial damage more than anything else now. Gone from a juicy $3 million a season, his own locker room, his own hairdresser, to its Centrelink with him laughing at him. Oh, life's tough for Young Ho.
David Muscat, what do you do if your defensive special teams are both on a bye? 7 trades and 2 boosts remaining. Well, I'd personally forget the fact that you got boosts. It's irrelevant. I'd use one of those trades, and I'm not sure. It depends who you are. Yeah, you've got 1 or 2. You certainly got who's on New England will be one of your selections you'll have. But look, it is very hard, but I actually don't mind the Vikings' defense this week, believe it or not. It's a good defensive unit. They can get a few sacks. They can get a few turnovers. That's about the only thing they can do, mind you. They can't win. And they're coming up against a really pathetic-looking matchup. It's an awful game that they're involved in. It's probably the worst game of the week. Let me just see who they're playing. I did look at this one earlier. Where are you, Vikings? Who are you playing? Oh, it's someone awful. LAR, no. Las Vegas, no. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they're playing Washington. Oh, God.
They'll get smashed.
There's not. Yeah, I probably would do that. It's not going to cost you much. Might even free up a bit of money and then just play with your Patriots on the way home for your defense. Probably the way I'd do it. What do you think?
Well, firstly, David, my all kudos to you. What is the remedy for rage? Is this a cheeky sniper team that you've just restrained from? Or have you genuinely got 7 trades and 2 boosts? I do not know how you do it. Do you have a pulse? Do you need help? We can send the ambulance around now. What I'd be doing is that I'd use one of those boosts. I'd nuff out one of your defensive teams, bring in someone, boost away, bring in those cheeky pods that we were talking about, which are 1% owned, 2% owned. And good luck to you. I hope that you can at least get high score of the week and then get some nuggets. Good on you, mate. Hope you're having a great year. Send us your rank. I'd really love to see how you're flying.
All right, we've got NFL legend Steve. Will Curran take over from Williams? There's an interesting one. Is Singletary? We haven't even mentioned him. Is Singletary worth a stash? You must have some trades if you're going to stash Singletary. What do you think?
Well, Steve is a legend. Shout out to all legends, friends of the show. We've got such an excellent community, Brad. It's a pleasure to be a part of it. Most of it's brought together because we all love a punt, and most of us are generally pretty good coaches. So, Steve, to my best honesty, I think Coram and him will just be like double ender. I can't see one of them because they're both the same size. One of them isn't terribly, one's not like a 6'4", 240 rusher, and the others are like Singletary, like 175, skinny, breakable little guy. Singletary, never liked him, won't like him, but he'll always put a big one in the middle of my forehead to prove me wrong just out of spite. But no, Coram won't take over from Williams. I think that Williams is still the clear RB1 at a 60-40 split, mate, probably.
Now, the Legends League number 1 is still ranked at number 5. Good on you, fellas. And Legends ranked number 2 is actually ranked in the top 10.
Flying, and just one more, like, because we all love the algorithm. Share, like, and subscribe. And the minor premier of the 5th ranked league, Big Ted, heard it here a second time, but if I love to go early, I'm going to go early late.
I will give a shout out. I did say I was in a few competitive ones. The Travis Ling Cup. The Travis Ling Cup is ranked number 4, one spot above the Legends.
Nice, well done, Travis.
So I'm in that one, and I'm also in which is Travis Ling Cup. I think I'm still well and truly in that. I think I'm coming 3rd there. So that's one where I've still got a little bit of goodness. And Come and Get Some is ranked 7th. All my other leagues are ranked up near the hundreds or the 80s and the 70s, etc. But yeah, so there's a good few leagues there which are competitive. Good on you, fellas. Well done.
Yes, no, look, we've got a lot of really competitive coaches. I must admit, with our Legends 2 league, we've got a couple of guys in there that have never played it this year. Gave them an entry into the cash league and they jumped on board. And even though they're not absolutely flying, they aren't giving us any bad kudos. And I hope you blokes are having a great season too.
All right, Ted. Well, we're just about done, mate. Can you think of anything else there today?
That we love the algorithm. And we hope that the algorithm loves us back.
We'll see if we go this week. Hopefully we haven't said too many F's and S's. We never say the C, so that's always a good thing.
I've been quite restrained, no bodily fluids flying, just trying to be a bit more professional because we love the algorithm. Share, like, and subscribe.
It's funny, Facebook don't mind what we say, but YouTube obviously didn't, thought it was getting a bit risque for their...
Risque. Well, look, the one thing which the algorithm must remember is that it's a R18 show somewhere around the world.
All right, folks. Well, that's about it for us. Good luck this week. They've given you plenty of pods there, plenty of different options. We're all getting thin on trade, so good luck to you. Maybe you're going to, like some teams I've heard of, they will be running one short and letting their flex just take that position. Or maybe you're going to do those last trades, use up the last few that you've got. There's still a bit of chaos to come. But like we see Yunku here, at least we're going to make we'll kick the mark, won't we?
Oh, look, we've got to do it for next year. Hey, just lastly, right, friends of the show, Brad and Ross and the boys there, Timmy, etc. They're on a Sunday evening. Tune in and get yourself ready for the bash, because this is going to be over before you know it.
Yes,
and mate, the boys
go over there, join it up. We have a very strong following, so it's good. Good.
Get on board, because the other guys over there have got a stronger wit than I, far more intellectual, a smoother operator, probably some would say, but maybe not have as much fun as we do over here. But anyway, boys, I'm going to drop you into the chats on Sunday night. Look forward to seeing everyone over there. Have a great week, everyone. Love yous.
Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, as Ted always says, or I'm going to send him around to your house. Take care of you.
And love the algorithm very much.